Okay.
All right, so we are joined on this rainy Thursday by my friend Jamie Bennett, recruiter over at Nucor Steel Jackson. We thank you so much for taking some time for us today. I've got a room full here with me at Velma Jackson High School. We're recording this for all of our friends in Madison County Schools, Madison Central, Rosa Scott, Germantown High School, Ridgeland High School, the Academic Options Center, and our YouTube channel. We're in the Advanced Manufacturing Career Cluster. And we all know about some of the other manufacturing places in the area, and they do great as well. But the work you guys do at Nucor is just so amazing. And the recruiter over there at Nucor Steel, always looking for great young people to come join y'all's team. And again, we just thank you so much for taking some time for us today.
Oh, no, I definitely appreciate you having me, Greg. And especially talking to these students at such a pivotal point in their lives. Ninth and 10th grade is where decisions are made, options are explored, and I guess imagination can kind of run wild with everything that you're able to do. And, at ninth and 10th grade, you're invincible, the bones aren't hurting. So
Oh yeah.
opportunities are endless at that age. So thank you so much for having me.
Now, obviously, we want to talk about all the great careers there and all the different areas that Nucor has that I don't think people understand. But give us a little background about you because you're a 23-year Army vet. I
I
got my Air
am.
Force on today, so but I gotta always honor our military. So you told me yourself that when you were in the Army, you were doing a lot of this same type work, but you never saw yourself being in manufacturing after you finished your Army career.
Oh, absolutely not. I had never heard of Nucor Steel until I had retired. So I joined the Army right out of high school, did 23 years, moved around a lot, got a lot of experience, met a lot of cool people. And it's an experience that I wouldn't change for the world. It was a great, not only stepping stone, but the security that I have in my life now is all because of the decisions that I made to join the military when I did.
Yeah, and we have several JROTC students here that are here with me now, and our Army JROTC here at Belmont Jackson does a great job, as do our other schools, really exposing students to military opportunities. And I know Nucor loves hiring veterans that may have learned some of the skills needed at Nucor in the military. So anybody interested in the military, I think that's important because, and obviously we're not focused on the military today, but it's got to be mentioned. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about military training is that it's like the movies where you're just kicking down doors and blowing stuff up. And that is just so far from the truth. Literally every civilian job you can think of in the world can be learned in the military. And the military has a lot, produces a lot of great engineers, a lot of great machinists, electricians, welders, or somebody like yourself in training and recruiting. So it really is such a great opportunity for people that. I have a lot of students say I want to do XYZ, but I'm not really a college person. Well, the military could be a great option for you.
Absolutely. I just had that conversation with my nephew. He's about to graduate high school, and we were talking about military versus college, and his brain assumes that the military is just running around in the field playing cops and robbers type thing. And I'm like, well, no, son. There's actually a job and you go to in the morning and you go home in the evening. So we're not in the middle of a war situation every single day. Absolutely. And the military again is a great stepping stone. The skills that you can learn, the opportunities that you have to grow. Like I said, it's amazing to me.
Yeah, and along the same lines, they're at Nucor, and I always pass I live in Flowood, so I pass the plant all the time right there on Flowood Drive, and I would encourage anybody to go by. It's really something to see. A lot of those similar skills are needed in manufacturing that you may not think of because we've looked at some of the videos, and I'll send the other teachers some of those videos as well. We saw a lot of automation, we saw a lot of computers and technical skills, and then a person from Nucor even said we're always now getting very skilled electricians. And we saw all types of females in these jobs. We saw people of all backgrounds. So this is not just a let's get dirty and sweaty and get and be in the heat every day. So there are so many different jobs that are taking place at Nucor. And then I'll also mention people have no idea how much steel is needed in all types of industries. So no, so just talk about all the different areas that are at Nucor that people may not even realize.
Oh, absolutely. So I know when Greg and I first met, I was the recruiter here in Nucor Steel Jackson. I have actually transitioned over into accounting. So now
Oh, cool.
I, I work in accounting here. New skill that I'm learning and enjoying it all the way around. So that's one thing about Nucor. You don't have to, as a woman, sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to get dirty or it's going to be hot or things like that. Any and all are welcomed at Nucor. So if you're a girl or a guy or, a them or they, you're welcomed here, okay? So please understand that there's nothing that one person can do that another one cannot. And if you want to be in an office or if you want to be in the mill, those are opportunities that Nucor can offer you. So from accounting to HR to IT, we have all of those automations. We have that as well. So, and Nucor is the largest steel manufacturer and recycler in North America. So we do everything at the bar mill here. At the mill here, we are a bar mill. So we make rebar. We have sheet mills. We have roll mills. Anything that you can do with steel, we do it. So here we make rebar. People make plain sheets to go on military vehicles, to go in buildings, to build infrastructure from runways to highways. So if they're stealing something, 9 times out of 10, Nucor has put it in it.
Wow. And it's like we said before you joined us, literally everything on this planet has to be manufactured. And so many of those items, even if they just have a little bit, they have steel. And it's so important to have a quality product. And these different level of skills. And also at the end of the day, it has to be sold. You need always need good sales reps because the
Absolutely.
customers have to buy the steel, and then it has to get to them. So there's a lot of people skills involved in this field as well.
And one thing that I love about Nucor is our training opportunities. And so we actually have programs that grow you and show you how to be a leader, grow and show you how to be a better salesperson. And so please don't think that you have to, just like the military, you can graduate high school, come to Nucor and wind up being a GM in 15 or 20 years. Don't think because you don't know it now that you won't learn it along the way. Nucor is great about teaching and developing their teammates and us as teammates. Again, I came in recruiting, I'm in accounting now. So
That's
the
awesome.
possibilities are endless. A very flexible company. As long as you do everything safe, you can have a long life at Nucor. And that's one reason I know here in Mississippi, we're actually going through our entry level process right now. So we have a hiring pool going on. And when I speak to people, it's like, oh, I've been trying to get on there forever. I've tried this 8 times, or it took my buddy 6 years to get on there. And it's not that it's so hard to get, into the door because we make it hard. Like the testing isn't hard, the work isn't hard. It's just because we're such a great company, the turnover is so low here. So people when they come, they stay forever. And because we are the largest, there's opportunities to move. So you can come into the entry
Yeah,
level pool here in Jackson, Mississippi, and go and be a manager in Memphis or go be a
absolutely.
lead in Louisiana. So if you're willing and mobile to leave, again, you can come in at entry level and be the general manager in 15 years.
Yeah, and the corporate office is in Charlotte, North Carolina. So
It
they have
is. It
a
is.
huge presence in the Carolinas as well. If that's somewhere you'd like to go. But as these kids start transitioning through high school, there's a lot of skills that could be hired at Nucor with varying levels of degrees. I know you guys have a great relationship with Mississippi State. A lot of their engineering students have gone to Nucor as well now, Jackson State with their electrical engineering. So if you want to do the engineering route, Nucor, they're always looking for engineers that are trained in the latest technology. But you need machinists. You need people in welding. You need people that have some of the industrial technology certifications. So going to the community college and getting the trade, learning that skill can make you very, very useful to a company like Nucor.
Absolutely. I never heard of AutoCAD until I got here. I still kind of don't know what it is, but I know it's a big thing in like our meal. I know that it's a big thing at like Heinz and Holmes when I used to go and speak to their students. So absolutely do not feel like you have to graduate high school, go get a PhD in electrical engineering before you can get hired at Nucor. That's absolutely not the case. And we're so committed to growth here that you can come in as a high school graduate and we will pay for your education to grow. So if you want to go back to school to get a degree, we pay for that. Not only do we pay for you when you get married and
Wow.
have children, we pay for your children and we pay for your spouse to go to school. So we
Wow.
are that committed to our teammates' continued growth and development.
Wow. Now, obviously, we'd be remiss because, and I know you're in accounting, but I still, you know, that plant like the back of your hand, which has always been impressive to me. Because I think it's so cool. I don't think people understand the manufacturing process and all the steps. Um, because like I said, when you drive by the plant, I think it's so cool. You just see that metal just stacked to the sky, and it's all these different parts of metal. And then at the end of the day, it comes out as a rebar wire steel that is used in so many industries. So just to the best you can, take us through how that process works because it's not just, all right, I have the steel and here's the piece. So there's a lot of people and a lot of machines and a lot of skills that touch that process from start to finish.
Okay, so I like to use the example. Um, my daddy puts the old washing machine on the back of his trailer and brings it to the recycling mill because he doesn't want it in his yard anymore, right? So we take the old washing machine, the old cars that people bring to us, and we break those down and we take the material out of it that we need to make the steel that we make here. So, different metals have ore and iron and different levels of those things. So we have, I like to call them like our special chemists, our smart people that know what's in what and they know how to separate it. So once it gets separated, we sell off what we cannot use, and then the rest comes over here to the actual mill. That gets broken down. Again, our really smart people, metallurgists is what they're called.
Yep.
They tell us how much ore, how much iron that we need to use to make a specific order for rebar. So, as you know, rebar that needs to go into the highway needs to be stronger than rebar that I need to put in my driveway or something like that. So, different elements make it stronger or weaker. So, I'm sorry, our metallurgists kind of tell us where we need to be with that. So, after that, it gets melted down. That's a crazy process because we use these things called the electric arc furnace. And we use, I call them electrodes. So these big electric um, prongs basically go into a ladle and it's so hot that it melts the
Yeah.
metal down, right? And it's one of the cleanest versions to do it. We don't have a lot of pollution around here and we're really working on being one of the cleaner manufacturers. So that gets melted down. That's what we call it in our melt shop. Very hot. It is hot, but very safe. Um, Melts goes into our rolling mill. Our rolling mill is where we have basically molds that determine the shape and the size of the steel that's going to come out. So it goes through that process. There are a bunch of different, I like to call them like different, like cranks and turns because again, I might need something that's 17 inches. Someone might need something that's 6 inches. So we have guys that actually have to make sure the molds are certain sizes and certain
Hey.
um like widths and things like that. So that's a process in itself. We have our lab that makes sure that it's strong enough. So they take a sample, they put it into a machine and it just pulls and pulls and pulls and pulls and see how much pressure it takes to break. And it makes the loudest pop. It's the coolest thing to see, but every time I see it, I always jump because I'm never prepared for the big boom at the pressure point. So that's always fun. After that, it goes to a cooling bed. Believe it or not, you can't just take steel and let it cool for an hour or two and then put it on the back of a
Oh no,
truck.
no way.
It takes days for this steel to
Yeah.
cool down. And so that's where our shipping comes in and our scheduling to where customers say, hey, I want this piece. And so we have to make sure that it's rolled by a certain time so that it has a certain amount of time to cool down. And then even with our logistics to shipping it to where it needs to go. So it's a process, but it's a process that's unlike any other I've seen.
And then before it's shipped, you get the money and it goes in the account. So the you know the last step of the process I always say is the transaction because there's millions of dollars coming in and out every day. So I think
Absolutely.
uh, that's why accountants are important in manufacturing. At the end of the day, everybody's there to make money, and somebody's got to take care of all that. Well, I do
Absolutely.
have some questions from the students, and like I said, with the exception of one, I have all females in here with me today.
Hey,
And this
ladies, I
first one,
love it.
and this first one is Michaela Burks. She's in 10th grade, one of our volleyball players here at Velma Jackson. And she asked, you just went through the process. Which step on the process is the most challenging?
I just went through the process. Oh, the entry level pool. So I didn't just go through the process. We have it going on. I would say the most challenging for anyone, I think, is going to be the interview process. And it's not that it's challenging. People come in here and they're nervous because they don't know what to expect. And you're sitting around and you're asking, you're getting asked a lot of questions. So I don't think that's just particular to manufacturing. I think is any interview. So that's one skill I think you guys can work on it in your younger years is learning how to interview and speak to people and answer questions like that. But the process is not hard at all to come onto Nucor. It's just that no one leaves. So if you get the opportunity to apply and get the opportunity to interview, please do it if you're interested because again, it's not hard. People just
Yeah,
don't leave.
and we'll definitely get that information out. But for the love of God, please read the job description. I'm just such on a soapbox about that. Don't go into a job interview and say, well, what would I do here? Well, you should already know. Um, so I can go on that. I can go on about that all day. This is Kaylin Bullock. She's in ninth grade, and she asked, "What made you switch to accounting from recruiting?"
Um, I wanted something a little more challenging. I think I'd recruited in the army too, so I kind of switched over to this. I still get to handle a little bit of recruiting and get to go out and meet people and things for different events, but this is a challenge for me because again, I know how to balance a checkbook, but I've never been an accountant. So the fact that I got this opportunity, I jumped on it.
Yeah, and I think it's cool too, especially we saw some of the automation in manufacturing. There's a lot of technology in accounting as well. There's more and more AI and things that assist you with the job. So if you're a computer person, accounting could be something for you as well. I like this question. This is Cambry Luckett. She's in ninth grade, and she asked, "How does the steel that you produce go into different industries?"
That's a good question. How does the steel that we produce go into different industry? Um, So in construction, I think that's probably going to be one of our biggest industries. So for people to build houses, for people to build driveways, for people to build buildings, work offices, schools, hospitals, steel is going to be involved. And so we have a lot of those customers, a lot of the big projects going on in Mississippi right now. We're trying to, I guess we call it bid to be the producer or the supplier for the steel for those big projects. As you know, we're building data centers here in Mississippi now, and all this is going on. They're going to need material, and so we provide that material.
Yeah, I was just up at the Amazon place the other day, seeing all those factories and stuff being built there by it, and I seeing that steel, and I said I'll be willing to bet everything I got some of that is from Nucor, or at least most of it's from Nucor. So anytime you see the steel being used, and it was all different types of steel, it wasn't just the large beams. Because you got individual rooms. I mean, I'm far from an expert, but I could just say there was a lot of types of steel being used, and I said I guarantee you, Nucor had a lot to do with that. So that's a
I
perfect
would bet
example.
that we did too.
Yeah. Now, this is Brianna Carson. She's in 10th grade, one of our band members here. And she asked, what are some of the requirements someone would need to get into the hiring pool at Nucor?
So you have to be 18 years old. You have to either have a high school diploma or a GED. Uh, we do background check, of course. So first step is to apply. After that, you come in for an assessment. And basically that assessment is testing like your math skills, make sure that you can get along with people, um, shapes, recognize shapes and numbers and things like that. After that, then you go through the interview process, and if you get selected for that, then you come in. And so when you come in our entry level pool, you may go to our quality shop, you may go to the melt shop, you may go to the roll mill. So you don't have to say, well, I'm a mechanic or I'm a welder, or I'm an electrician. They figure out the skill that that you have and put you where you're going to best fit, and they teach you and you grow you. So you may work in the roll mill for a year and then you go learn something in the melt shop. So like I said, when it's very flexible, there is no you have to have a PhD. We're big on training. As long as you are coachable and are safe, you can be very successful here.
Absolutely. Well, I got time for two more. This is Ashton Leach, the only male with us in here today. He's in
Hey,
ninth grade.
Ashton.
And he asked, when you were in the military, how did you get through the stressful times? And well, what type of stressful times did you have, and how did you overcome them?
Prayer, prayer and family. You go through stress and it's not just the military. It's gonna be life in general. I know as grown-ups, we may say y'all too young to be stressed out, but I can imagine y'all have some stressors too. Prayer and family was the biggest help that I had in just in life in general when I get stressed out. Therapy is a big one too. Do not be ashamed of therapy. And gardening. I like to grow plants and vegetables, but that's
Hey, that's
that's it.
awesome. I got one more. This is Deani Johnson. She's in ninth grade. She's also a member of our band. And she asked, after a long military career, what motivated you to pursue a career in steel manufacturing?
My daddy told me if I sit at home, I'm just gonna wither away and get fat and eat bonbons. So he said I had to go get a job. No, I wasn't done yet. So I still have a lot of life in me. I still like to get up and do things. I like to travel. So just interacting with people. I didn't want to just sit at home and watch TV all day. So
That's
something to
awesome.
do.
Well, we're almost out of time. And as always, we just thank you so much. Nucor has it's such a great company, and it's right here. So people can it's literally right there on Flowwood Drive. You can't miss it. It's such a cool thing to see. But if anybody's interested in careers at Nucor, Nucor.com.
/careers.
Okay. Now the
And you
the
can
last
sign
thing.
up for alerts too. I'm sorry. You can sign up
Oh,
with your
cool.
email address and get alerts every time we open new positions.
Yeah, and like I said, all it takes is getting your foot in the door, and there are literally meals all over the planet that Nucor. I hear kids all the time say, "Well, I want to do X, Y, Z, and I want to move." Well, get in with a company like Nucor, and if you prove you can do the work, they're gonna get you into those other places. So and this industry is not going away. It's
It is
only going to
not.
get more. It's only going to get more advanced and going to need more and more smart kids to get into it. Which is, that's what I want to end with. Just lastly, a lot of it's like I've got all females in me, but people might be thinking, well, this isn't something that I could do. Well, this is something it needs intelligent people, it needs technically sound people, it needs hard workers, and it needs young blood to get in there and really keep moving this industry forward. So why should they even consider a career in manufacturing?
The stability of it, the skill of it. I will say, especially you young ladies, I know it's class full of young ladies, do not be intimidated by big equipment and big things. You are needed, you are welcomed
Absolutely.
industry. Manufacturing is a male-dominated field, but it is. Do not close yourselves off to think like, oh, I can't get in because it's all guys. Absolutely not. Like we are powerful as girls and we can do anything. So please do not limit yourself.
Absolutely. Well, we again we thank you for fitting us in your busy schedule, especially on this rainy day. I'm glad we didn't lose Wi-Fi. So thank you again so much, Jamie Bennett, all the way over there at Nucor
Thank
Jackson in
you.
Flowood. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
I talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, bye.